তোমরা জানো স্কুলের তরফ থেকে অনলাইন লার্নিংয়ের ব্যবস্থা করা হয়েছে। সেই অনলাইন লার্নিংয়ের পার্ট হিসাবে আজকে যে লেসনটা পড়াতে যাচ্ছি সেটা হলো অন কিলিং এ ট্রি অফ ক্লাস 12। On Killing a Tree, written by G.F. Patel. G.F. Patel is a very prominent figure in Indian context, and he's a very known person regarding in the field of literature. But if you read him very closely, you will see that he is mostly a physician. But since he had a great love, great affection for writing, that's why he took up the task of writing poetry. In this poem, we can see that there is irony. This poem is marked by irony because the title is very much significant. It is ironical. On killing a tree, it is very much significant because the title says that something is going to be celebrated. What is going to be celebrated? The death of the tree. Tree is going to be just cut down, and this death is being celebrated by human beings. So that he is also here pointed out that man kills tree, but in doing so he is actually paving the way for his own death. So that has been pointed out very critically in this particular poem. Let's start. It takes much time to kill a tree. Not a simple jab of the knife will do it. So it takes much time to kill a tree. So tree cannot be killed very easily. We need much effort to kill a tree. Not a simple jab. Jab means just you put the axe on it in a very light way. So this jab of the knife will not be enough to kill a tree. It has grown, slowly consuming the earth, rising out of it, feeding upon its crust, absorbing years of sunlight, air, and water. And out of its leprous height, sprouting leaves. So the tree has grown very slowly, consuming, eating the nutrients from the earth. And it takes the nutrient from the crust. Crust means the upper layer of the earth, absorbing years of sunlight. It also, we know that in order to grow of a tree, the light, air, water is very much essential. All these things, years of sunlight, air, water, and out of its leprous height, sprouting leaves. Leprous height, this is very significant, this term leprous height. Actually, it gives the imagery of a leprosy patient. As a leprosy patient, he suffers from the disease of leprosy. The skin of the leprosy patient is dead, numb. The skin is a rough one. So here the tree bark is said to be quite similar to the skin of a leprosy patient. But the twist of irony is that in case of a leprosy patient, the skin is dead, so there is no life. But here, in case of tree, from the same spot, the new leaves grow. Sprout means grow. So hack and chop. Since in the very first few lines we see that the tree cannot be killed, yet there is rough marks on the bark of the tree. From that rough space of the tree, the leaves grow. But tree cannot be killed in this process. So hack and chop. So deliberately the poet says that the tree has to be killed by hacking and chopping. But again, this alone won't do it. Not so much pain will do it. When you put the knife on the bark to kill the tree, then the tree also has life, we know that. So tree also feels pain, but this pain is not enough to kill it. The bleeding bark will heal. The sap comes out. If you just chop the tree, the sap comes out. It is quite similar. If there is cut mark on our skin, on the skin of human being, then blood comes out from there. In the same way, if you put a mark of knife or any other instrument on the bark of the tree, then sap comes out. Water like liquid comes out from there. So that is the poet here says that. So that is quite similar like the human being. As if we put cut mark on our skin, blood comes out. In the same way, if we put the hard instrument, put the mark of the instrument on the skin of the tree, then also water like sap comes out from there. So that's why it is said that the tree has the life. So here it is human imagery. Why? Because as we human being, if there is cut mark, blood comes out from there. In the same way, if there is cut mark on the tree, then water like sap comes out from there. That's why it is said human imagery is there. The bleeding bark will heal, but the tree has a great capability that the if there is cut mark, then sometimes later that cut portion is healed means it gets cured somehow, and from close to the ground will rise curled green twigs. Suppose a tree has been cut from very close to the ground. If the root has not been taken out, then what happens? A few days later, new leaves, green twigs. Twigs means little shoot comes out from very close to the ground. Miniature boughs, which if unchecked will expand again to former size. So these little twigs, it is miniature boughs. Bough means branches of tree. If these boughs remain if these boughs remain there, if we do not harm it, do not hurt it anymore, then these boughs will grow in course of time and it will be the former size of a tree. No, there is comma mark. It's very important. No, the root is to be pulled out. The root, in order to kill the tree, the root has to be taken out of the anchoring earth. Anchoring earth means, as if you know that when the seed is anchored, it remains steady there. So the roots are like anchor. So these roots help the tree to remain steady. Out of the anchoring earth, it anchors in the earth. Whereas in case of the sheep, the anchor goes very deep to the sea and it touches the ground. Okay, so that the sheep do not move. Here the tree remains there very steadily. So in order to kill the tree, it is to be roped. So it is actually a processing going on. It is to be roped. The tree has to be roped. It is to be tied and pulled out. So tree has to be roped. It is to be tied very tightly. Then it is to be pulled out. So the root comes out, snapped out. If it is not pulled out, if it is cannot be pulled out, then what has to be done? Then it is snapped out. Snapped out means that somehow it has to be torn apart. Somehow. Some portion of the tree may be under the ground and some portion comes out. So in this way the tree has to be killed or pulled out entirely. Pulled out entirely means that tree along with the root and other subroots, everything had to be taken out entirely. Out from the earth cave means that there is a gaping shape, a gap. If you take out the root, then there is a hollow space. So this is called earth cave. And the strength of the tree exposed. So this is very ironical. So as if the tree has a great strength, it has a great power. It is initially resisting. So tree cannot be killed by chopping, jabbing and hacking. So the tree was resisting the onslaught of human being. But now since the root has come out, so its strength is exposed to the world. So tree has no more any strength to survive because the root has come out, and the root is the link. Through the root, the nutrients, the minerals get entered into the tree. The strength of the tree is exposed. The source, white and wet. Source means root is the source. It is white and wet. We know that it is if you touch the root, you can feel that it is quite moisture like, and wet or white because it has not the root does not see the light of the sun. That's why it is white. The most sensitive, hidden for years inside the earth. So root is the most sensitive part, sensitive thing of the tree, and it remains hidden for years inside the earth. The root stays there inside the earth for years and it helps the tree to grow. Then the matter of scorching, choking in sun and air, browning, hardening, twisting, withering, and then it is done. Then the matter of scorching means that since the tree has been uprooted and it is just left on the ground, so sunlight does its work. It scorches the tree and chokes it in sun and air. So remember that the sun and air is the expression is quite ironical. Why? Because earlier the tree has been grown by taking all the nutrients through its root. It takes the air, sunlight also helps the tree to grow, air also helps the tree to grow. But here the same air, the same sun helps the tree to dry because it scorches, it chokes. And then the colors change. Initially the color of the tree, you know that it is greenish. Now it becomes browning, hardening, since the sap is evaporated, that's why it becomes hardened. Twisting, gradually there is a wrinkle on the skin of the tree. Withering, then all the leaves and other branches, it just comes off very gradually. Withering, just uh, everything, all the tree just shakes off all these leaves and other things, and then it is done. Finally, the killing process of the tree is done. The tree has been killed completely. So this is, that first few lines, there are three stanzas. First two stanzas, it describes the resilience of the tree. The tree just resisting the it is being chopped, it is being hacked, it is being jabbed, but tree is resisting. It has great healing power, healing capability. It can cure its wound very easily. But when the root is taken out, the tree can no longer survive. The tree can no longer tolerate the pain, and it dies consequently. And the same air, the same sunlight that helps the tree to grow, the same sunlight and air now just accelerates the process of killing of tree. So in this way, the tree is killed finally. So that's why it's very significant. That if you read very closely, you'll find that how the poet presents the human indifference towards the tree. The tree is our life source. It gives us life, it gives oxygen, and oxygen is the main source for the survival on earth. But without tree, no life can spread on earth. So the entire earth will be desert without tree. But beings know it very well. In spite of that, in order to satisfy his self-interest, they are killing tree rampantly. So here the poet has raised his voice in favor of afforestation, and he denounced deforestation. Man deliberately kills tree, and he mentioned the again, I'm saying that the title is very crucial one, on killing a tree, as if the birthday something is the stone is celebratory one, something is going to be celebrated. The tree killing is it should not be celebrated. Rather, we should feel the pain of the tree. At the same time, we should just realize that if we go on killing tree in this fashion, then a time will come very soon that the entire earth will be without any human beings, without any living creature. So thereby it will just the death of the human being or human race on other, and as well as other races, will be accelerated without tree. So we should just keep it in mind that we should plant more and more trees in order to make this earth habitable for human beings and other creature. Okay? তোমরা এটা কয়েকবার রিড আউট করবে। রিড আউট করার পর যদি কিছু বুঝতে না পারো, আমাকে জিজ্ঞাসা করতে পারো হোয়াটসঅ্যাপের মাধ্যমে, ঠিক আছে? কয়েকবার রিড আউট করবে। রিড আউট করার পর তোমরা দেখবে পিছনের দিকে একটা সাবস্টেন্স দেওয়া আছে, মোটামুটি ধরো প্রপোজাল একদম পিছনের দিকে সাবস্টেন্সটা দেওয়া আছে। সাবস্টেন্সটা রিড আউট করবে, তাহলে কিছুটা একটা ক্লিয়ার আইডিয়া তোমরা পাবে। মোটামুটি দেওয়া আছে, হ্যাঁ, অন কিলিং এ ট্রি দেওয়া আছে। তোমরা এটাকে রিড আউট করবে। রিড আউট করার পর টেক্সটটা কয়েকবার পড়বে। পড়ার পর কিছু বুঝতে না পারলে আমাকে হোয়াটসঅ্যাপের মাধ্যমে জিজ্ঞাসা করতে পারো। থ্যাংক ইউ।